It started on an ordinary Tuesday morning, or as some people jokingly call it, morning. Because, let's be honest, rolling out of bed and remembering you have bills to pay can feel like a tiny funeral for your dreams. I reached for my phone, doom-scrolled for 5 minutes, and then stumbled across something that stopped me cold. A video about how the very words we speak are quietly programming our lives. Now, I'm not someone who usually falls for dramatic claims. If you've ever seen me in the self-help aisle of a bookstore, I'm probably muttering, "Sure, but where's the data?" Yet, there was something strangely captivating about this idea, that every word leaving my mouth could be a spell, subtly shaping my world. Imagine being Harry Potter without the wand, except instead of yelling, "Expelliarmus," you're blurting, "I'm terrible with money," and unknowingly hexing your bank account. The video began by exposing a kind of linguistic matrix. From childhood, we're immersed in language that sets invisible boundaries. We don't notice because it feels normal. But normal is often just code for what we've been programmed to accept. Every sentence you say is a line of code. And your brain? It's the ultimate computer, obediently running the script. Think about it. Before you could tie your shoes, you were absorbing words that framed what was possible. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's just the way things are. Be realistic. These aren't innocent phrases. They're tiny mental fences. Over time, you learn to stay inside them without even realizing you've been penned in. But here's the plot twist. Language isn't just communication. It's creation. Every time we speak, we're casting spells. Literally. The word spelling hints at this ancient link between writing and magic. Even the word grammar comes from grimoire, meaning a book of spells. Somehow, as the centuries passed, this mystical insight got buried under grammar worksheets and red pen corrections. Yet, the magic lingers. The video played with familiar words in a way that made my jaw drop. Take contract. Break it apart and you get con, to trick, and tract, to pull. A contract sounds like safety, but it's also a binding path, pulling you into obligations you might regret, or mortgage, literally from Latin, death pledge. No wonder paying it off feels like defeating a boss in a video game. Even government has a wink of truth. Government, mind. It's not just about roads and taxes. It shapes what people think is normal. An occupation? Sure, it's your job. But to occupy something means to fill your space and attention. Convenient, isn't it, that the system wants you fully occupied so you don't have time to question the game? Then there's human. Some say it secretly hints at hue, light, and man. Whether the etymology checks out or not, the metaphor is striking. You're not just a body punching a clock, you're energy, light, potential. Society prefers you forget that. It's the kind of wordplay that feels half like a conspiracy theory and half like a revelation. And while you might roll your eyes at some of it, I did, the deeper message is powerful. Language shapes perception, and perception shapes your life. Before you dismiss this as woo-woo wordplay, let's talk science. Psychologists have long studied linguistic determinism, the idea that the language you speak influences how you think. For example, some languages describe time differently, shaping how speakers perceive the future. Experiments show that even a small word tweak can change memory. In one study, people who were asked if they saw the broken headlight remembered a crash scene differently than those asked about a broken headlight. One little article, the versus a, rewrote reality in their minds. And that's just perception. When it comes to personal growth, your brain literally rewires itself based on repeated thoughts and words thanks to neuroplasticity. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," you strengthen neural pathways of doubt. Say, "I'm learning every day." And you start building the mental highway toward confidence. You're like a software engineer of your own consciousness, but most of us are running outdated, buggy code. Even biology seems to listen. Studies show that positive self-talk and affirmations can lower stress hormones, improve immunity, and even help heal faster. Words don't just float in the air, they echo in your nervous system. And if you've heard about Masaru Emoto's water experiments where water supposedly formed beautiful crystals when exposed to words like love, scientists debate the rigor of those studies, but here's what's not debated. Humans are 60% water, and our emotions measurably shift our physiology. Words trigger those emotions. So, whether or not your cells form snowflakes when you whisper gratitude, the point remains. Language affects the body. As if our personal word choices weren't enough, mass media has turned language manipulation into an art form. Headlines aren't just reporting facts, they're crafting emotional responses. Call a protest a riot, and suddenly it's scary and chaotic. Call it a demonstration, and it sounds brave and purposeful. Same event, different spell. The spiral of silence is another trick. When media amplifies one opinion and sidelines others, people with differing views feel alone and stay quiet. This creates echo chambers where one narrative reigns supreme, not because it's absolute truth, but because dissent was linguistically outnumbered. It's social magic at scale. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every ad is casting, "You're not enough, buy this." Every pundit is planting us versus them. Every clickbait headline is tugging emotional strings. It's a giant Hogwarts for influencing your subconscious. Here's the good news. Once you realize the power of language, you can reclaim it. You don't need to burn your dictionary and move to a cabin. You just need to become intentional. Start by noticing your own phrases. Catch the "I can't afford this" and swap it for "How could I afford this?" Switch. "This is too hard" to "What can I learn from this?" It's not just semantics, it's shifting from defeat to curiosity. You can also experiment with affirmations. But here's the trick most people miss. They have to feel believable. Telling yourself, "I'm a billionaire," while staring at an empty wallet just makes your brain roll its eyes. Instead, use steps your subconscious can accept. "I'm learning to handle money well" can evolve into "I'm financially secure" over time. Think of it as strength training for your self-belief. Visualization supercharges this. Athletes do it for a reason. The brain often can't tell the difference between vividly imagined success and real practice. So picture yourself thriving while pairing it with empowering words. "I'm ready. I'm capable." You're building mental roads toward that future, and yes, watch your inputs. The songs you sing along to, the shows you binge, the memes you scroll, they're quietly shaping your mindset. Your inner monologue borrows language from the world around you. Feed it wisely. After finishing that video, I decided to test it. The next day, instead of sighing, "Ugh, I have to work," I tried, "I get to work." At first it felt cheesy, like a motivational poster from the 2000s, but something small shifted. Gratitude snuck in. "I get to" felt like privilege instead of obligation. Suddenly, my commute wasn't a funeral march, but a conscious choice. I replaced "I'm so bad at this" with "I'm still learning." I stopped saying "I can't afford that" and started asking, "How could I make that happen?" Tiny tweaks, but my brain responded. I felt less trapped, more curious. Challenges felt like puzzles instead of prison bars. And while I haven't manifested a yacht yet, I've noticed opportunities feel less impossible. My self-talk no longer drags me down the way it used to. It's like discovering the cheat codes for my own mental software. The heart of this message isn't fear, it's freedom. You're not doomed by a few negative words. You're realizing the pen has always been in your hand. Every sentence you speak is a brushstroke on your life's canvas. So why not choose colors you love? Language can limit you, but it can also set you free. Words like abundance, growth, joy, and possibility don't work by magic. They prime your brain to see options and act boldly. Shift from scarcity to expansion, and you're not just thinking positive. You're reshaping how you perceive reality. Even physics reminds us, observation changes outcomes. Speaking your vision isn't casting a spell, it's choosing the path you want and guiding your mind to follow it. Here's your challenge. For one day, listen to the little phrases you say, the sighs, the automatic complaints. When you catch one, flip it. I can't becomes I'm figuring it out. This is impossible becomes I'm discovering how. Feel the difference. You don't need a wand or fancy rituals. Just choose words that open doors instead of closing them. We've been living stories we didn't write, but now you can grab the pen. Life won't change overnight, but every word you speak is a brick. Build the world you want. If this message sparks something in you, if you're ready to choose your words with power and rewrite the story you're living, don't let it stop here. Hit that like and subscribe for more insights that help you step out of autopilot and into creation. Your next chapter is waiting, and it starts with the words you choose today.